welcome everybody, it's Jamie here. As a travel blogger, one of the most important experiences for me when travelling around the world is the food. And one of my favourite dishes happens to be a curry. And today I'm going to show you how to make what I would call a traditional British based curry sauce. It's going to be really flavoursome, it's going to have the most amazing, warm, rich, caramelised aromas, and you're going to use this base curry sauce as a starting point to create curries such as doppiazza, madras, danzak, patia, and so on. So the ingredients you can see in front of you are going to make 6 litres of base curry sauce. Yes, you heard that right, 6 litres. This is a long-term project. That will actually create roughly 20 to 24 curries of your choice, feeding 4 people at a time. So you probably realise that once we've made this base sauce, you're going to need to actually freeze some of it. So you're going to need room in your freezer. If you want to halve the ingredients, make half the amount, no problem whatsoever. To make the sauce, you are going to need 15 medium-sized onions, about 225 grams of carrots, and 120 grams of cabbage. You'll need 1 red pepper and a green pepper, 1 400-gram tin of chopped tomatoes. Make sure it doesn't have any herbs in it. You don't want any oregano in your curry sauce. Also, you're going to need in total 9 tablespoons of ginger paste and garlic paste, 750 mils of rapeseed oil. I know that sounds a lot, we'll talk about that later, and make sure it is rapeseed oil as it has quite a neutral flavour. It doesn't burn at high temperatures and it is supposedly healthier for you. And let's face it, if we're going to use that much oil, we need to have a good oil. For your spicing, you will need 3 tablespoons of each of these: ground cumin, garam masala, coriander powder, and paprika. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of ground fenugreek, and finally 1 tablespoon of ground turmeric. Okay, step 1 is to start peeling all 15 of your medium-sized onions and have a bowl to hand ready to place them in. The last thing I want is my eyes streaming. And by the way, if you have got any really good ideas how to stop your eyes streaming with water when you are peeling and chopping onions, I'd be very pleased to know. Number 1 of 15 done, in the bowl it goes. And there you go, as if by the magic of video, 15 onions peeled and a little bit of emotion showing as well. Ooh. Step 2 is to chop the ends off of your 225 grams of carrots, and then you're going to peel them as well. Finally, we're going to slice our carrots like so. Doesn't matter what size at this stage, because actually once cooked down, everything is going to be liquidized. And the last one, nearly done. There we go, 225 grams of carrots. Step 3 is to take 120 grams of cabbage. I'm using spring greens. I don't think it matters which you use, to be honest, so whatever your preference is. This has had a little wash to make sure there's no creepy crawlies or bugs. We are going to just chop this quite roughly at this stage, because again, once this is all cooked down, it is going to be blended. Your next job is to cut open your red and green peppers and to de-seed them. Now, there are lots of methods you could use to do this. I don't pretend to have the best one. I just use the method that works for me. Some people push in at the top, some people will cut off the end. I'm somewhere in the middle where I will cut the outside like so, and then I tend to cut around the stalk area and the pith. There you go. Yep, there are seeds in there. What I'll do is I'll wash them out shortly. And next job is to just chop them up. Again, quite roughly. They are going to be cooking away for some time and then blended at the end along with the other ingredients. This is where having a food processor will come in very handy for you. I never used to have one of these, so I always had to chop every onion individually, so I literally was streaming with water from my eyes. Anyway, if you've got a food processor, well done you. Take your onions, slice them in half, pop them in, make sure the lid is on properly, And we don't need to make them chop them very finely or anything like that, just a quick blitz. Brilliant, so we're now just about ready for the next steps where we start cooking. We have our cabbage, our onions all chopped, carrots, red and green pepper. I've got a tin of chopped tomatoes ready to go. The 9 tablespoons of ginger and garlic paste, so 4.5 tablespoons of each. I've got a teaspoon of salt here, 750 mils of the rapeseed oil, and also a litre of water. Okay, still with me, I hope. Next job is to take pretty heavy duty pot that's going to hold 6 litres of liquid, and that's going to go on to a medium to high heat. The first ingredient to go into our pot is going to be our chopped onions. That was the first bowl, and yeah, I've got another dish. It's 15, remember? In they all go. Followed by our carrots and red and green pepper. Then our roughly chopped cabbage. Then our ginger, garlic paste and teaspoon of salt. Next, our can of chopped tomatoes. Followed by your 750 mils of rapeseed oil. Do that carefully. Perfect. Finally, our litre of water. In that goes. Right, give that as good a stir as you can. Quite tricky because there's so much in here. Make sure that all the vegetables have been coated by the oil, the water, the tomato, and of course your ginger and garlic. Once your mixture starts to simmer, you're going to turn down the heat to low and you're going to leave it there for roughly 45 minutes. Just stir every occasionally to make sure nothing's catching on the bottom. Okay, as you can see, that is simmering away nicely now. So we're going to reduce the heat to low and we are going to pop the lid on and leave that for roughly 45 minutes. What you do with your 45 minutes is entirely up to you. I'm going to go Keith Floyd again, have a little bit of Sauvignon. Cheers. So the 45 minutes are nearly up, the wine has gone. Time to start measuring out our spices. So we've got 3 tablespoons of garam masala, 3 of ground cumin, 3 of coriander powder, 3 tablespoons of paprika. We then have 2 tablespoons of fenugreek, and the last one we're going to use is turmeric, and we need 1 tablespoon of that. Perfect. And there we go. Amazing colours, look at that. Just one tip for you as well, with all of these spices to hand, I would absolutely recommend that you keep them separate from your other food items in a box with a lid. They can be quite strong. Also though, those of you who know me, I like to be quite organised, a bit OCD, so that works perfectly for me. Take them out anytime you are about to make one of your curries. Right, so that's 45 minutes up already, so I'm going to remove the lid. Ooh, that smells amazing already, and we haven't even put any spices in it. The next job is to add 2 litres of water. So in with the first, and the second litre, in it goes. And now we're going to add our spices. In they go. Give that a stir, and once you've done that, the lid goes back on, and we're going to cook that again on a low heat for another 30 minutes. And you're probably going to notice the oil is going to start rising to the top, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so lid on, 30 minutes. So it's at this point your home is going to be filled with the most amazing aromas. Now that's great, but you might not want your, let's say, bedroom or your bathroom to be smelling of this amazing base sauce. So now would be the time to close doors to any rooms you don't want smelling like this sauce. Moment of truth. So this has been cooking for another 30 minutes and the vegetables should be nice and soft now, and we should see a layer of oil that's risen to the surface. Absolutely, look at the colour of that, and it smells amazing. So next job, we are going to start removing the oil from the surface, and we're going to keep that aside. We're actually going to use the oil here in future to make curries, and you know, if you put this into a container, it's going to store indefinitely actually. Okay, so take your time to remove the oil from the surface. So that's the oil removed from the top. I normally just actually store the oil in a plastic beaker like so. So I just pour that in, make sure it's cooled before the lid goes on, and that is going to be used to fry your vegetables, any meats that you want to use in a curry, and it's going to bring a really lovely deep flavour to that curry. Right, we're nearly there. I've let this mixture cool a little because we're going to take a hand blender. We need to blend this for up to 4 minutes so that it's smooth and that there are no grains at all. Now, recommendations with a hand blender say that you should only use it for a minute at a time so it doesn't overheat. Okay, so you might need to be patient with this. Anyway, let's start the process. Start in nice and slowly. And just move it around. And that's coming up for a minute now. So I'm going to stop for a moment so that the blender doesn't overheat and come back to it in a minute or two. Okay, as you can see, we are starting to get there. I think that needs maybe 1 more minute just to make sure it's not grainy at all. Okay, that's just about ready, and this is the kind of consistency that you need. It is quite thick, as it should be, because you don't want your curry to be too watery. So your base sauce is good in the fridge for around about 3 days. Obviously you're not going to eat your way through this whole amount in 3 days, so you're going to need some plastic containers. I bought these for £2, 12 for £2 in my local supermarket, and it can be frozen and the sauce will last for pretty much about 3.5 months. So time to decant our lovely base curry sauce into our containers. And I'm going to pop those in the freezer shortly once they've all cooled down. That's perfect. And there you go, that is your base curry sauce. It smells divine. Join me next time when I'm going to show you how to make a danzak, and I'm going to be using this same sauce to create that curry. Thank you for joining me. If you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments below and I will happily answer them. But for now, happy making your base curry sauce.